Thanks for joining. I'm Cody with eXp Realty here in Denver, Colorado, surrounding markets in northern Colorado. Thank you for watching. Today we are going over a fairly quick topic about earnest money deposits once you get a buyer under contract or when working with your first seller, what's going to happen when the buyer does deposit that earnest money. So first and foremost, when I go through the buyer process before my clients ever signed, I'm going to go through what is earnest money. It's going to be in my little wheel, my little pie chart of the buyer transaction process. We're going to talk about it there. And then when we're under contract, I do have an automated set of emails through my Chime CRM. Let me know if you have any questions about Chime or switching CRMs as well. But I do have a transaction process I customize for each client based on the dates and deadlines. Took a few hours to set up. Easy, 5 minutes to 10 minutes to get it set up for each transaction after the fact. So I'm going to send an update. Congratulations, you're under contract. Here's everything that's going to happen over the next 30 days. Included in that is an earnest money reminder. It says something along the lines of, earnest money is a good faith deposit required by the state of Colorado to accompany your accepted offer. It's traditionally 1% of your purchase price, although it is up to the seller on what they charge. It is up to the buyer as part of their contract on what they put down. It will be in the offer of what's going to be deposited and where it's going to go, which title company. So know that in that email, again, we're going to say this is what it is, this is how much it is, this is the date and time that is due by. X date at 5 p.m. when the title company closes, your $5,000 earnest money check is due. You can use a personal check or a cashier's check. A cashier's check is safer because it takes less time. It's already out of the account. It takes less time for it to be returned to you and to clear. So it is safer for both sides to have that be a cashier's check. All right. So then I include, it's going to be deposited. You have to have that money. If it's a personal check, it's not going to sit in somebody's drawer. It's not in the sock drawer. It's not in the underwear drawer. It's not on top of their desk. It's not in an envelope. It does get deposited into a trust account that the buyer nor seller have access to. It either gets used as the down payment for the buyer. If it's a VA or USDA buyer, for example, they might be credited that money back if they're not bringing a down payment, or if the termination of the contract is right, if it's done within the dates and deadlines of the contract and it's done rightfully so, then that buyer will get the earnest money back or petition to have it come back. Recently, we had a seller try and hold it. All it took after a few weeks of back and forth, which is way too long, sending a screenshot of the contract provisions that allowed the buyer to get it back. You go to mediation. If they do not give it back to you before getting an attorney, typically a buyer is always going to win if they did it within the contract boundaries. But again, I'm going to notify that client while we're going through the buyer process. I'm going to give them an email right when they go under contract, and usually that date or deadline is 2 to 3 days after going under contract that it's due. So 24 hours before it's due, I'm going to say, here's an update just in case you have not deposited the earnest money yet. It needs to be in by this date at this time for this amount with this subject line, and that's it. So if they don't do that, the seller can terminate the contract. But I put it in there at least 3 times, and I text them about it when we go under contract. So 3 to 4 times they're getting that information, and that's it. We'll let those clients go deposit it. I will never, ever, ever, ever touch that money. You do not want that liability. Neither does your broker. Some brokerages do hold earnest money, but ours does not, and I will not touch it. That is the client's responsibility to bring that check to the title company. So if you have any questions further, let me know. If you want to know about the emails that I send out to my clients to inform them of the earnest money deposit, I'm happy to share. It's a very simple conversation though. Earnest money is $5,000. It's due on Tuesday at 5 p.m. at the latest. You can drop it off at any of the Heritage Title or Fidelity Title or Land Title offices, whoever we're working with. Let them know if it's in reference to 123 Main Street and with closer Ben and Jerry. All right, so that's as simple as it can be. but in the emails, I make it more complex with all of the added information so that I'm always disclosing where it's going, what's happening with the money, why it's important. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. Again, Cody Walker with eXp Realty in Denver, Colorado, and serving the Denver and surrounding markets as well as northern Colorado. We're here to help you, and we're to help any of your clients that might need a referred agent out in this region. Thanks for watching.